The honourable member for Battle River-Crowfoot.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and it is an honour to rise in my place and deliver what will be my farewell speech in this Parliament. Now, Mr. Speaker, for now, as I offer my seat, I will, at the earliest opportunity, resign my seat to trigger a by-election. But let me start by first sharing a few thank yous. Mr. Speaker, it is an honour to serve in this place. Being elected for the third time to represent the people of Battle River-Crowfoot truly is an honour, and for anyone who has had the opportunity to sit in this place, it truly is. Being able to serve your communities is something that is a profound honour and something that I hope each and every one of you, all 342 of you, take very, very seriously that responsibility. Mr. Speaker, it is, one never gets here by themselves. I am so thankful for a team that has supported me since I first put my name forward to run in a nomination in 2019, and for the 3 elections since, an incredible team. Grassroots conservative supporters that believe in common sense and believe in the things that we believe as a party, not simply because it's an election, but because that's the foundational things that they know our country needs and know what is best. Those are the grassroots people that I am so proud to call my teammates, and of course the team. And of course the team that help us, our staff that do the hard work, that help make us look good, whether it's in this place or in the communities in which we serve. But Mr. Speaker, I have the deepest thank you that goes to a woman that's sitting in the front row, and I hope you give me latitude to acknowledge that here today, since it's my farewell speech. But to my wife, Danielle, you know, it's one person's name on the ballot and on the election sign. But sweetheart, it's a team sport. And for Danielle, I cannot thank you enough for the support and love through what has been a wild, a wild ride. And I know, Mr. Speaker, I didn't know it would be quite so much work to resign, but I know the work continues. And Mr. Speaker, for my boys who have not seen their dad as much over the last number of years, I certainly am looking forward to being able to spend some more time with Matthew, Emerson, and Winston, those 3 boys that Danielle and I are so very proud of. And Mr. Speaker, we get into politics for a reason. And when I first put my name forward to run in 2019, there is things that you stand for and believe in. Things like putting Canada first, no matter what the circumstances. Things like ensuring that you are always going to put your country first when it comes to the deliberations in this place, when it comes to your actions. And Mr. Speaker, that is why I am so proud to stand with Danielle and stand with my family and offer my seat, to offer to resign my seat to Pierre Poilievre, the leader of Canada's Conservatives, because that man, I truly believe, is the right man to lead this party, to be the leader of the opposition in this Parliament. And Mr. Speaker, my belief before and my belief remains today that Pierre Poilievre is the right man to be Prime Minister of Canada. And Mr. Speaker, I would ask the people who overwhelmingly put their trust in me in Battle River-Crowfoot. I was honored to receive more than 80% of the vote. An incredible, I think, affirmation of not just myself Mr. Speaker, because politics should never be about oneself, unlike what so many of the Liberals make it about. Politics needs to be about doing what's best for your country. So for the people of Battle River-Crowfoot, you put your trust in me. I have a simple request to all of you. I would ask that you trust me as I ask you in this upcoming by-election to put your trust in Pierre Poilievre and elect him as the Member of Parliament for Battle River-Crowfoot for the remainder of this Parliament, as he will fight for you in rural East Central Alberta, and as he fights to represent Canadians, the common sense vision that so many Canadians, in fact, many Canadians put their trust in for the first time in this election. More than 8 million Canadians voted Conservative in this last election. More than 41% of the population voted Conservative in the last election. So to the people of Battle River-Crowfoot, you trusted me. I'm asking you to trust me once again as I ask you to support Pierre Poilievre as he runs in an upcoming by-election in Battle River-Crowfoot. Mr. Speaker, our country faces significant challenges that require real action and a real plan. We face a national unity crisis. It is not something that can simply be flippantly dismissed by those in other parts of the country that would suggest that Alberta, for example, should simply pay up and shut up. No, I'm sorry. That is not what Alberta should do. Alberta deserves a fair voice in the Federation, just like every province. I heard earlier as a new colleague from Newfoundland had a similar sentiment. I've heard the same thing as I've spoken with colleagues from every region of our country. There is challenges that our nation faces, and it deserves more than platitudes and a decade of the same failed ideology that got us into the disastrous position we find ourselves in now. And Mr. Speaker, as this is a debate on the throne speech, as I listened to the throne speech, it was an interesting mix of things because you had a co-opting of some of our ideas for political benefit, but at the very root of it, you see that the Liberals are simply the same old ideologues that we have seen for the last decade that have eroded trust in our institutions, that have held back our economy, that have shut down our resources, that have told Canadians that their voices, their freedoms, and who they are as people doesn't matter. So, Mr. Speaker, as I shared this decision, this offer a number of weeks ago, and as over the last number of weeks spoken with Canadians from coast to coast to coast about this, I see so clearly how the vision that Conservatives brought forward with leader Pierre Poilievre in the last election proposes the solutions that truly our country needs. And Mr. Speaker, as I stand here to offer my farewell address, I look to a Conservative team. In fact, I had said earlier that it's incredible. I look back to the class of 2019, and the class of 2025 is pretty incredible. There's a depth of talent in this team that we should and can be proud of. But, Mr. Speaker, I know this team will do incredible things. And I look forward to being able to champion the cause from outside the House in the interim. And I do to my constituents, the many of whom who have asked whether or not this is me retiring from politics. And the simple answer is no, I don't plan to retire from politics. But I am stepping aside to ensure, thank you, to ensure that this by-election gets triggered. But, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude my remarks, I would simply say this, to conclude where I started with a note of thanks, a note of reflection, and a note of humility. One is driven by things in one's life. There's things in their heart that drive them. You know, I think of my faith, the fact that Jesus is my Lord and Savior, the fact that there is foundational beliefs that were taught to me by my dad, my mom, and family members, my grandparents, my grandpas who aren't with me any longer. that there is so much that we have to be proud of in this country. So, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude and as Danielle and I move on to what is a bit of an unexpected chapter of our lives, I would ask each and every person in this House, fight for Canada, fight for what's right, and do so boldly and strongly, because that's the least we can do for the people that send us here.
I'd like to say that I had the pleasure of sitting on Environment Committee with the member, and he always displayed honesty and goodwill, and that didn't keep him from keeping the chair on his toes. As a matter of fact, it led him to make efforts to keep the chair on his toes. Questions and comments. The honourable member from Courtenay, Alberni.
Mr. Speaker, first, it's an honor to rise today, and I know my colleague is leaving, and we sure had our differences in this place. We had some pretty heated debates over the years and couldn't have more different politics, except that we do share that we're both from rural communities, Mr. Speaker. And I admired his passion, and my former colleague from Malahat Cowichan, Alistair McGregor, I can say his name. We sat pretty close to him in earshot, and we had some good laughs, but we would refer to him as Hockey Dad because he had such passion when he spoke in the House on issues. But one thing he is a hockey dad, and he's getting to spend some time with his 3 kids, and he's going to be home with his family. But I do want to pass on my condolences to my colleague who lost his father in the last year, and I know he's going to take on the farm. He's going to do well with it, and we wish him well as a farmer, supporting Canadians so we get our food and the work that he does around his farm. And I do, on behalf of all New Democrats, we want to wish him well, his family, and I want to thank him for his service in this House.
The honourable member for, did I see Saanich Gulf? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, okay, if you wish.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the member for the very kind words. And I think it emphasizes that in this place we can trade passionate partisan barbs. We can passionately disagree, but that doesn't mean that there's hatred toward each other. It's our job to passionately defend the people that sent us here, Absolutely. The ideas of that drive the very core of who we are. And as a rural Canadian, I'm very, very proud to have been that voice for rural East Central Alberta over the last 5.5 years. And while I'm stepping back now, I can assure those people that I will do everything I can to ensure that Pierre Poilievre here is given the support he needs if he has the honor of being able to sit in the chair of Battle River-Crowfoot. But let me simply conclude with this. All of us in this place, I think with humility and grace and passion, can represent well our constituents. And I hope that that's a lesson that I can impart to all of you as I vacate this seat and offer it up for a by-election in the near future.
See if I could get as many members in as possible. So that's why I went to the honourable member for Saanich Gulf Islands. Again, we are under time constraints, but I want to give many a chance to pay homage to the member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hadn't intended to give a Caesar-like speech. We're not burying him, and I'm tempted, of course, as ever, to praise him because we're friends. And the honourable member for Battle River-Crowfoot, I don't think will be gone long from this place. And I don't know if the official residence at Stornoway is now found within the borders of Battle River-Crowfoot, but I'm sure that all things will be revealed, and I hope that the member for Battle River-Crowfoot will be back here. I just wanted to ask him very briefly, because my first time to take the floor today at all was to say that the honourable member for Calgary Centre pointed out how many conservative ideas are in this speech from the throne. And I think it could have been a speech from the throne from a Conservative government. I wonder if the member for Battle River-Crowfoot would be tempted to vote for it.
You know, that's a kind of a brief answer, I guess, because I do want to allow the member from King Hants to speak to the member.
Let me simply say this. my colleagues' remarks, and especially our work in the National Prayer Breakfast together, has always been something that I've appreciated. But let me tell you, in the interim, Mr. Speaker, I look forward to being able to spend a little bit more time in a tractor cab. Yeah. And the one thing about being in a tractor cab, Mr. Speaker, is it doesn't heckle you. But like government, it requires maintenance, it requires fuel, it requires everything that is required, direction. And if you don't take care of it, Mr. Speaker, it breaks down, and you have to call the mechanic. And you know who I think the best mechanic to fix our country is? Well, my friends, his name is Pierre Poilievre.
Yeah. The honourable member for King's Hands.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm going to continue what the member from Courtenay Alberni started with, which is offering congratulations and a level of gratitude to the member for his service in this place. Of course, this being his resignation speech. I think about the way in which my former colleague Scott Bryson stepped aside for Joe Clark to run for a seat as a leader at that time. I have great respect for, of course, my predecessor, Mr. Bryson. I have great respect from the member from Battle River-Crowfoot. This House will remember that big booming voice when he comes in on debates. Some of us will perhaps be thankful that he's not going to be bringing that big voice and with all the ability to hold the government to account, but I know others will probably miss it. But I do want to say to the member who represents a rural constituency, I represent a rural constituency. We may not always see every issue the same, but I know he has been a great champion for rural Canada. I wish him all the best, and again, I suspect we may see him back in this place in due course. So to the honourable member, congratulations and all the best in the days ahead.
The honourable member. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I appreciate the kind words. And I would simply say as to how long it is before I once again run to represent the people of Battle River-Crowfoot, well, I leave that to the people who will remain in this place on confidence votes coming forward. But certainly, Mr. Speaker, when it comes down to it, we fight for what we believe is right. And it's been an honor to serve the people of Battle River-Crowfoot in this place for the last 5.5 years. I count it an honor to be able to serve them in this way as I step aside temporarily to trigger a by-election. And Mr. Speaker, let me assure you and everyone else who may miss my voice and the volume and tenor that sometimes comes along with it, if you listen carefully in the coming months, you may just hear me still during question period from Alberta, heckling the Prime Minister and other Liberals that deserve it, quite frankly, I would suggest. But Mr. Speaker, as this is my last words in this place, it has been an honor. So from Danielle and myself, may God bless all of you. May God bless Canada, and let's keep working to not just put Canada first as a slogan, but truly put Canada first, for that's what I believe our country needs, deserves, and together we can do.
Here, here. Full member for Regina, Louvain.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to join in this debate. And the member from Battle River-Crowfoot and I actually have a long history together. We both started as members of the Saskatchewan Party caucus office working in research together. I was elected in 2011. Then this honourable member took my job as the director of research in the Saskatchewan Party caucus office. And then I decided to make the trip to Ottawa, and I was very happy that my friend followed up to Ottawa. And I guarantee you, Mr. Speaker, that this is not going to be the last time I have the honor of working with this very, very honourable man. And I can't wait for him to come back to the House in the next election so we can work together once again. And to your lovely family and your boys, you're a great dad, an awesome husband. I'm proud of you, bud, and I can't wait to see you in 2 or 3 years.
L'honorable député de Gaspésie, les îles de la Madeleine, Destigou.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je n'ai pas eu la chance de connaître mon collègue de Battle River-Crowfoot, mais je veux saluer sa décision et qui n'a pas dû être facile et souligner le fait qu'il semble être un grand joueur d'équipe. Maintenant, dans son allocution, mon collègue a parlé des défis qui se posent à l'unité nationale du Canada et j'aimerais lui donner l'occasion, avant qu'il nous quitte, de nous donner son appréciation du désir autonomiste qui semble croître en Alberta. Que pense-t-il de ses compatriotes albertains qui veulent doter à leur province lui l'a dotée des pleins pouvoirs pour qu'elle puisse elle-même se gouverner et atteindre son plein potentiel.
Member for Battle River-Crowfoot.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And look, I believe that there are things that are, and I appreciate the kind words. Truly, it's a humbling thing to hear your colleagues and both conservative colleagues and the fact that while I may be one of the more partisan voices in this place, and Mr. Speaker, like I told one of your predecessors, my constituency and electors elected me to be that way, and expect that. But Mr. Speaker, it's humbling to hear from other members in this place, from all parties, about how, regardless of political differences, regardless of where we are from our country, we can fight for Canada. We can fight for what we believe is right. So again, Mr. Speaker, I thought my previous words would be my last, but I appreciate this opportunity. I would just simply say to put on the record again to Danielle, my boys, Matthew, Emerson, and Winston, the rest of my family who have stood guard, including my dad, who is no longer with us. I cannot express my gratitude to those who have stood, and I think about those who to think that as a farm kid from rural Alberta, without any real political background outside of I liked politics. Outside of the fact that I watched Question Period as a kid instead of doing my math homework. Mr. Speaker, the fact that somebody like myself could end up in this place is a testament to what democracy, I believe, should be. So Danielle, Matthew, Emerson, and Winston, and there's so many others that have helped make this dream come true for me and have supported Danielle and I and our family in the midst of this. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of our heart. I plan to be back, God willing, but in the meantime, I look forward to being the best husband, the best dad, and the best rural farmer that I can possibly be, and I hope to have some fun in the process. So thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
And we wish the member the very best for his upcoming endeavors.